All right. LDBC, it is your boy, the coach. You're live on the coaching show, live. Well, folks, I got, when I'm making this video, when I started making this video, I said to myself, I'm not going to call him Booger Hill. I said, I'm not going to do it. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to call him that. I peeped the interview off of Barbershop Conversations, but I looked at the parts with Drew Titan and Reggie Owens. And shout out to Reggie Owens, man. Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. Shout out to him. And also Drew Titan. I give it up to Sugar Hill. I'm going to give it up to him. The man stood in there with a den full of Wilder fans. And he answered every single question that was hurled at him. I mean, he answered them all. Drew Titan pressed this guy extremely hard. And you can tell that Sugar Hill, he was extremely uncomfortable. Like real uncomfortable. And a couple of the questions, you can tell he really didn't want to answer the question. He kind of really didn't want to answer the question, but he did anyway. So I give Sugar Hill a lot of props for sitting up in there and answering all them damn questions from all the Wilder fans. And I'm talking about, man, it was just like call after call after caller. And you even had one dude, though, talking about, yeah, when I see you. And I don't know, man. I don't know if Sugar Hill could take that, how he took it. But, I took it as, okay, well, when I see you, I'm going to pull up on you like, okay, man, so y'all finna pull up on the dude. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, but anyway, Drew Titan pressed Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill was uncomfortable. But there's something that when Reggie Owens interviewed, Reggie Owens took another turn. Reggie Owens actually asked Sugar Hill, could he see the boxing gloves from that night of the fight? Now, Sugar Hill, he kind of opened that, Sugar Hill opened that door to Pandora's box. He did. Because when Reggie Owens started pressing him hard about them damn gloves, he said, well, if the gloves weren't tampered with, I got the gloves from fight night. So Reggie Owens said, okay, well, can you show us the gloves from fight night? And Sugar Hill got real nervous and uncomfortable, extremely nervous. And you know what he said? He said, oh, well, well, the gloves in the case. Reggie kind of gave him this look like, what, you can't take the gloves out of the case and show us? You don't want to show us? And Sugar Hill was like, no. Now that, I was kind of with Sugar Hill a little bit. I'm like, okay. All right, well, maybe, he just doing his job or whatever. I started thinking, then I'm like, nope. Now for what reason do this guy not want to show these gloves? Why? Why don't he want to show these gloves? How do you explain this? How do you not want to show these gloves? Like, what do you have to hide? Because, honestly, the gloves that Tyson Fury had, those gloves, it'd be hard to actually replicate. Like, and some people are saying, well, even if he showed you the gloves, how do you know that those are the gloves from fight night? He could do that, but those gloves would be extremely hard to replicate. Because you can tell, like, brand new gloves from gloves that's been used. And, used gloves, they kind of have that used look. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you've ever, had on gloves, and if you've ever looked at a pair of boxing gloves, once they've been used, they really don't look the same. So it would have been hard for Sugar Hill to replicate it that quick. See, I think Reggie Owens caught him off guard. The question caught him off guard because if people would have been asking, hey, we want to see the gloves, and Sugar Hill had foreknowledge of that, see, Sugar Hill could have had a little bit of time to get a pair of gloves ready to present to us. But see, he didn't have time to do that because Reggie Owens put him on the spot, and Reggie Owens point blank said, hey. He point blank said, hey, look, show us those gloves. Sugar Hill was like, well, no, I'm not going to do it because they're in the case. So wait a minute, you couldn't open up the door to the case and take the gloves out and show it to everybody? He wouldn't even do that. So that's kind of got me thinking, man, that, yeah, he got something to hide. And, he does know something. He knows that Tyson Fury is a cheat. Folks, it is what it is. I know people can get upset and be angry and all this other mess. Tyson Fury is a cheater, okay? It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. It is, okay? That was like the nail in the coffin. He didn't want to show those gloves, okay? He didn't want to show them. He wanted no parts of showing those boxing gloves to anybody. Are y'all starting to get the picture now? Now, what do I think about this whole thing? I never thought Mark Breland spiked Deontay Wilder's water. Never thought that. I never thought that there was an actual egg weight inside of the glove. I didn't think that either because putting the egg weight in the glove would be extremely hard to do. But what I do think I think Deontay Wilder was hit for 8 rounds with a bare knuckle. And people, you're telling me, oh man, well he couldn't do that with his hands. Yeah, have you guys ever looked at bare knuckle brawling? Have you guys ever looked at that? Because if you've ever looked at bare knuckle brawling, do you see how those guys' faces are? A lot of those faces are disfigured after they're done with that. Their faces are disfigured. They got lumps, they got dents, they got cuts. Okay, Tyson Fury, for about 7 rounds, fought Deontay Wilder with the bare knuckle. And I think Sugar Hill knew about it. Because here's one thing, man. Sugar Hill was talking about, I taught Tyson Fury how to punch. Oh, you did? Yeah, in the first fight, he was slapping. Wait a minute. See, then I started thinking, but you said you didn't look at the first fight. You see, when people start having inconsistencies like that, I start to really second guess them, saying anything about anything. I started to second guess them. Okay? See, this man was put on the spot. And I think the Sugar Hill probably thought, okay, I'll come on here. And because they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing on me anyway. I'll come on here and I'll just speak my piece and, that's going to be it. But I think that, the creativity of Drew and Reggie, especially Reggie, the creativity, Sugar Hill wasn't prepared for that question. And because he wasn't prepared, he didn't really have a good response. You can tell, man, I can tell you, man, somebody lying, man. When a person actually starts fidgeting, they start moving around, they start looking around or looking, if they look off to another direction, come on, man, they're thinking of what to say. And when you tell the truth, you don't have to think about what to say because it's already there. You don't have to access, the part of your brain that deals with truth or that deals with logic or reasoning. You don't have to access that part of your brain because it's already there. Okay? He was sitting there trying to figure out what to say. I think he knows. I think he knows that Fury's a cheater because he kept saying, well, I taught Tyson Fury how to punch correctly. Well, okay, let's take that from fight 1 to fight 2. He was still slapping his punches, but the glove was still floppy. It was floppy in both fights. I mean, did you really teach him how to punch, or, did you just kind of give him a new game plan with the cheating tactics that he was already doing? I think Sugar Hill knew exactly that he was cheating. I think he knew that Fury was cheating. I just think he just said, I'm just going to teach him what I know, and he can do what else he do. Because Tyson Fury been doing this kind of stuff for a minute. I mean, these are facts, man. This guy been putting the glove on his hand like that. So literally he beat Deontay Wilder, bare knuckle, okay, for damn near 7-8 rounds. Okay? In bare knuckle, I say his fists were in the lace part of the left glove, and he redistributed the horsehair on the right glove. I mean, you can see the man's knuckle imprint. You can see his knuckle. You're not supposed to see a knuckle imprint in a boxing glove, folks. I don't care what anybody tell you. You're not supposed to see a knuckle imprint in a boxing glove. I mean, I've worn many, many pairs of boxing gloves, and I can tell you, I've never seen a knuckle imprint. I've watched a lot of fights. I ain't seen a knuckle imprint. You can see Tyson Fury's knuckle imprint. You can see it. It is what it is. You can see that. This guy's hiding something, okay? He's hiding. I think he knows the truth, but he's probably trying to just turn a blind eye to it so he can keep his money. And it is what it is. And also, he's a former cop, so woo, enough said there. Enough said there, because cops, they tell lies all the time. I mean, hell, when you say the word lie, you just got to put a picture of a police officer in a damn dictionary, and there you go. So I mean, that don't surprise me then. It don't surprise me. But I tell you this, man. I tell you this. Yeah, he get a lot of props, but nah, it's very suspicious, man. Now, I mean, you really kind of have to go in and think, was his team actually telling the truth? Was, young Pharaoh, I mean, not even a boxing channel, don't even cover boxing like that. Was he really on to something? I would think you'd have to say yeah, because that interview, man, no. It threw a lot of guilt and a lot of suspicion on himself. And no. So, why not just show the gloves from the fight? But see, I guarantee you, if Sugar Hill is asked that question again, I can guarantee you he'll be prepared next time. Okay, he'll actually have the gloves just in case somebody asks him. But it won't be the gloves from fight night. It'll be a whole nother different pair of gloves. Well, I guess it is what it is. It is what it is, What are you going to actually do about it? What can you do about it? Because, I mean, basically, the evidence, well, I think Sugar Hill, Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury Daddy, I think they're going to take that to the grave.